What is good, Tesla family? It's Ray J back with another video. And in this one, I want to talk about Tesla stock and break down something very important about the weekly time frame. I'm also going to talk a lot more about some other developments going on with Tesla and break down what this all means for the future of the company. But before I begin the demo, all this information, before I answer the question, is Tesla about to see a lot more major downside, or is this thing getting ready for a big bounce? Let me just mention a couple of things. Firstly, I am not a financial planner, so take nothing I say as financial advice. And also, if you guys can, please check out the Moomoo link, which is down below and in the description. If you sign up for Moomoo, the link down below, and deposit $100 into the account, you're guaranteed 5 free stocks. If you deposit $1,000, you're guaranteed up to 15 free stocks. And this offer ends very soon in just a couple of weeks. Anyways, when it comes to Tesla, I just wanted to mention that when you look at the weekly time frame, Tesla has been on this very, very big downtrend since we were at 300 back around July of 2023. Since Tesla actually saw this massive, massive run from 150 to 300, you could see how much this stock is capable of running when things go the right way. But there are a lot of issues with Tesla which are really affecting them, and it has a lot to do with demand issues involving China and also in the USA with these high interest rates. This is not the best time to be selling cars looking at the current economy. And on top of this, there's a lot of fear about Tesla missing deliveries and things like that. So it's not the best of news, especially as the news is just continuing to bash Tesla. On the weekly time frame, we're looking bearish. We've been downtrending for quite some time, and we have a very bearish looking candlestick right here. I also want to note that we have a potential flag that has been forming right here, like a bear flag leading to this break to the downside. And this is likely going to lead to more selling, in my opinion. That's the honest truth. But is this like a massive crash in the overall market? I don't think it's a massive crash that could be confirmed yet for the overall market. Tesla, it's already dropped quite a bit compared to 300. We're down pretty big from there. So if you want to use the word crash to describe it, you still could, technically speaking. But I just want to say that it's not the end of the world. Do not let this change your view. Don't let this get in the way. It's not really getting in my way either. I just want to talk about something else. So a lot of this fear is happening because of what happened in China. There's been a lot of talk about how when you look at their delivery estimates for the full year, they're just continuing to come down. Right now, for 2024, Troy Teslake is saying that for 2024 deliveries, 2.1 million is not possible, and 2 million is possible, but less than 50% likely. Now, we can't truly say this with 100% certainty, however, because the overall gigafactories and their production capabilities could change in the middle of the year. Things could always change, but on the current course we're at the current rate, things are looking this way. And this is not the best of news. Now, Tesla had a very weak start to this year because of the numbers in China, and that's what's been leading to a lot of fear. If you look at their growth overall for the past couple of years, Elon Musk and many other Tesla investors can agree that 50% growth year over year is not sustainable. They're not going to go from 1.8 million to a guaranteed almost 3 million in just a single year. Seeing something closer in like the 2 point something million, even like the low twos, is still very possible, very pragmatic. I don't expect the most insane growth because you have to remember that Tesla is trying to reposition themselves in entering a new growth phase. So they're trying to upgrade their Gigafactory, get ready for the Roadster, get ready for the Cybertruck. And that's going to take quite a while to adjust their Gigafactories. And then on top of that, there's another factor known as demand. Demand is not the strongest right now for the economy. I have to be honest with everyone. And that's because of what's been going on with these high interest rates. And it's very, very hard for people to qualify for the right kind of loans that they're looking for. Not to mention, this is just not the best of times, I guess, in general, as Americans are becoming, I would say, possibly a bit more cautious looking at the potential sentiments in the economy. The same thing's happening in China. One could argue that a lot of Chinese people are becoming a lot more frugal, and all of this is just continuing to affect Tesla. So the bottom line is, it's not the best of time for Tesla to see a massive bull run. I'm going to be honest with everyone. Things are just not looking that good. There's still a lot of fear coming out about what's been happening with the halt in production in Germany, which is bad news for Tesla, which could slow down their overall production and their deliveries. There's more bad news coming out day over day because of the media, and all these people are just continuing to cry about Tesla, saying all these bad things. But people like me are becoming very excited. I'm excited about all of this. And you want to know why? Well, it's very simple. Let them bash Tesla. Let everyone start to panic. Let Tesla come down. Now, we can't be talking about Tesla crashing all the way down to like $99 a share if we're still at 170. We haven't even lost 150 yet, so I wouldn't turn too bearish quite yet. I'm just going to take this like one day at a time. The chart is quite bearish and it does suggest that there is more downside potential. But just know I'm excited about that. I'm excited. I'm celebrating because we have another opportunity to buy up those Tesla shares at like possibly 170 a share, 150 a share. If it keeps dropping to like 125 or even like 100, it's another big opportunity. Why is it a big opportunity? Well, Tesla is not changing. It's simply in a delayed state. What do I mean by that? It's in a delayed state because they're trying to upgrade their gigafactories. The current state of the economy, it's not going to last forever like this, guys. Okay? Things will get better. You have to be optimistic. Tesla ran from 150 a share. It was in the 150s back in the middle of May and ended up going all the way up to 300 by July, right? Within just a couple of months. In just 2 months, this thing went from 150 to 300. It could run like crazy when it starts to squeeze. If it drops down to 100, okay, let it fall to 100. It could run right back up to 200 in just within a month or two. It could go from 150 to 300 in just a few months when the fundamentals improve and once we get good growth again, when Tesla enters the next growth stage. So we've been on a big downtrend, and there is a risk of Tesla selling off more because of the current interest rates. Yes. Does this mean Tesla's going to crash forever? No. And I do believe that this is just another great buying opportunity. I don't see why this should concern you so much. You may have Tesla shares, and that's awesome, but no one wants to see their shares fall like this. So you're free to do whatever you want. But I'm into Tesla for the long term, and I know that eventually these shares are going to be worth thousands and thousands of dollars. It's going to be quite easy, actually. You just have to give it enough time. On top of that, I have faith in Elon Musk and the team. How about for SPY? Do I think SPY is going to crash? Well, honestly, guys, I don't think that we could say that this is going to be a big crash because of what I said in my previous video. When it comes to SPY, there's no crash that's confirmed right now. This does not mean just because I say there might be a pullback, that does not mean I think it's going to go down to 450 in just a few weeks. That's not at all what I'm saying. So if you look at this bearish divergence and other bearish signals I've been talking about, especially as we have a very bearish day and we kind of rejected off this trend line, there's a very good chance that SPY could turn lower again. If you want to be bullish on SPY, you need to see this thing just continue to uptrend like this, come back down here, kind of just continue to do this, a nice uptrend and break these highs, right? Just like how we had this high right here, there was a high right here. We broke this high, then we broke this high, we broke this high, so we're uptrending, right? But the thing is, with the current signals, there's a good chance that SPY could come down like this, rebound a little bit, and it could end up failing to break this high. If it fails to break this high, this could be the start of a little downtrend, and then it could start coming down to these low levels into like the lower 500s, and that's when we could start filling some gaps below, especially if we break this yellow trend line right here and fail to get a break above it. That would be our first confirmation. So in terms of levels, SPY has a bearish looking daily candlestick with a bearish divergence. I think that if it does try to pop a little bit, it's going to likely come back down. And just know we have a key support at this 505 area at the daily 20 EMA, which we're long overdue to test. So I think we might test that. And if we lose this, a bigger drop could come to fill this gap all the way down to about 497. So look for a little pump and drop like move. Watch 505. If we hold this, SPY could consolidate a bit, but I do anticipate some downside nonetheless. If we lose this 505 area, a bigger drop is coming to like 497, if not 493. Do you guys see where I'm going with this? I look at this one level at a time, and I'm very, very patient with the way I chart. SPY is not going to crash from 500 to 400 in one day. It takes its time. Okay, it takes its time. With SPY falling, this could negatively affect Tesla, but I'm not saying that this is a big crash in the markets. This looks more like a healthy pullback to me. And I think that we have to wait for confirmation before we make claims like that. So could SPY fall more? Yes, it can, considering the way it's looking. Just wanted to make that as clear as possible. This could also drag Tesla down. QQQ as well, as we have a bearish divergence and we're likely going to test 436. We have to lose 436 to fill this gap. If we hold it, we could try to rebound like last time, but watch this support. If we lose this, we could start sinking. There's a risk of that happening. And then finally, I just want to call out a nice setup on Amazon. This looks like a very nice head and shoulders like structure, but hold on a second. despite having a very clean head and shoulders, and the risk that Amazon, Microsoft, these other tickers all have these confluences of potentially seeing some bearish price action at the same time as SPY and the QQQ. I don't find it all just a coincidence. So with this head and shoulders like structure on Amazon, there's a risk of this coming down, but watch for confirmation just to be safe. Overall, the chart is showing weakness, and we may see this actually develop on other stocks out there, especially for Tesla. But I wouldn't just blindly start shorting Amazon for no reason, not financial advice. I would wait for confirmation. Anyways, for Tesla, okay, let's be real. This thing likely has more downside. It's been downtrending really hard, and there is a risk of this looking at the current numbers and estimates coming out from analysts and all this bad news from price cuts to the fire in Germany to Chinese sales. There's so much bad news. You know why there's all this bad news? There are bad things happening for real in terms of the objective truth about Tesla. When you look at the fundamentals and what's going on with the different things out there, yes, it is realistic. It is the truth. But at the same time, hold on a second. What's happening is these institutions working alongside certain people from the media, they're bashing Tesla as hard as possible. Okay? This is hundreds of billions of dollars at play. This is not pennies, this is billions. They want Tesla to fall. They want you to believe it's going to crash. They want you to start selling so they can start buying your shares. And they want this thing to drop hard. They're after this. They're shorting it very hard. Why are they doing this? So once this thing falls, whether it's to 150 or 100, wherever it falls to, once it gets down there, they're going to start buying it up like crazy. They're going to buy Tesla at such a cheap price. And then they're going to run it back up to $300, $400 a share over the next few years. Just you watch. It's going to be insane. For now, it may not happen because of all this bad news, because of the fact that fundamentally, yes, there are some hardships coming for Tesla because of their factories halting and actual bad news. So there is a realistic aspect of this selling, but at the same time, it's a game for these institutions. I want to make that as clear as possible. And do you guys want to just fall victim to their prey? Do you want to just lose money and give up, or do you want to be able to play this right and make crazy money? Okay, this is a millionaire opportunity. What do I mean by that? If you want to do whatever you want to do, you could do what you want to do. When you make that money, have something on the sidelines and get ready to dollar cost average or buy these dips on Tesla. Not financial advice, okay? But that's what I'm planning on doing. Just buy it up slowly, slowly, slowly. And then once Tesla's at a good level, I keep buying it up. I'll get ready and I'll hold these shares for years and years to come, and crazy gains will be made. You could even load up on leaps on Tesla, right? Super long term options or whatever else you want to get into, and make insane gains on these plays. I want to be as honest as possible. So just to be clear and honest, there's a risk of downside in the markets. There's a risk of downside for Tesla. Does it scare me? Not one bit. I'm a big Tesla bull and I'm very excited about this for the long term to buy up these opportunities. All right. So don't let the fear get to you. They're going to try to scare you. They want you to panic. They want you to sell. They want you to give up. They want you to lose money because trading is basically it's not necessarily just a game where one person loses, but there's always one person that loses and one person that wins on the other end. So, do you want your money to go away because of somebody else taking it and winning it on the other end of the trade? Right? If I'm selling Tesla shares, someone's buying it basically, right? Do you want that person that bought the Tesla shares from you for cheap at 100 when you started selling to win? Or do you want to find a way to play this properly and make crazy gains by taking advantage of these insane opportunities that are coming in the markets? That's my question for you. So, will Tesla drop more? Most likely, yes. Yes, it will. It could fall all the way down to 170, even 152 a share. It's a possibility. But it's not the end of the world. I'm not scared. I'm not panicked. I'm not going to panic. I'm confident it's going to make a historic comeback when people least expect it. Okay? Don't be scared. Be brave. Remember that time when everyone was panicking and saying Tesla was done for, it's crashing to 152 a share. It ran up to 300 just a few months after. Remember, it crashed down to 100. Well, it ran back up to 200 in just a couple of weeks. It went from 100 to 200, came down a little bit, and then pushed back up to 300, held up. We have some bad fundamentals, bad news coming out. So, yeah, it's going to drop temporarily, but then it's going to run back up. Okay. So, I have nothing to worry about right now, in my honest opinion. As long as I just continue to dollar cost average, remain cool, Don't worry too much about it and just keep dollar cost averaging. Keep staying very, very cool. If you truly believe in the company and you have the fundamentals at play, it is nothing to worry about. All right. With that being said, thank you for listening. Be very careful with the way you play this, though. When you dollar cost average, you don't want to go all in at once. You want to just slowly buy in, slowly, 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 and get your average down. And just know that this is a massive, massive multi-million dollar opportunity, if not a multi-billion dollar opportunity for the people out there. You could easily make thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, if not millions, and possibly even billions for some people off this stock if you play it properly. Okay? A big opportunity is coming. Don't keep your heads down, keep them up and be excited. Be hungry. Be hungry for the opportunities that are coming and do what you have to do, guys. I thank you all so much for listening. Have a great day and peace out.